Welcome to the lesson on brainstorming. Upon completion of this lesson, learners will be able to define brainstorming process and discuss the various steps of brainstorming. Learners will also be able to devise a plan to solve a quality problem through brainstorming methods like affinity diagrams and fishbone diagrams. Now that you have determined some issues in your processes that need to be your focus for improvement, next you need to figure out how to improve the process. Continuous improvements are best when groups of people work together to come up with the best solution to the process problems. Brainstorming is defined as a group activity designed to generate a large number of ideas about a specific problem in a relatively short period of time. Brainstorming can be used as a tool to improve quality by focusing attention on specific quality problems that a production line or a manufacturing facility is facing. Brainstorming is best done in a group of 8 to 10 people where everyone can have an opportunity to interact and build upon each other's ideas. To conduct a productive brainstorming session, you can follow these guidelines. At the start of the brainstorming session, clearly explain the purpose of the session and describe the quality problem that the production line or manufacturing facility is facing. Encourage participation from all members. Avoid criticism or praise for specific ideas. This will ensure that all participants share their ideas freely. Encourage creative, innovative, and out-of-the-box ideas. Carefully record all ideas presented. Do not stop when ideas slow down. Instead, encourage more ideas. Use presented ideas to build and expand upon. Wrap up the brainstorming session by selecting the top ideas to follow up on. To improve the results of a brainstorming process, manufacturers will also piggyback ideas by revisiting an idea and try to think of solutions related to it. A more structured form of brainstorming is the use of affinity diagrams. An affinity diagram, a graphical display of a hierarchy of ideas, is used to organize and sort the ideas generated in a brainstorming session into broad categories that must be addressed to deal with the problem. It shows a parent-child relationship between these specific ideas and their higher-order categories, which are referred to as affinity groupings. Affinity diagrams are also referred to as affinity charts, KJ method or analysis, or idea maps. An affinity diagram is constructed by following these steps. Step 1. Identify the problem to be addressed. Create a clear, concise statement of the issue so that it is understood by everyone. Step 2. Brainstorm individually for approximately 15 minutes, writing down issues related to the problem. Keep these statements short but descriptive enough to explain the idea. It is best to use post-it notes or index cards for these statements. Step 3. Lay out the completed post-it notes or index cards so that all participants can see and have access to them. Step 4. Silently and quickly, let everyone group the post-it notes or index cards with a similar theme. Instruct participants that if they disagree with someone else's placement of a post-it note or index card, they must move it without explaining why. Step 5. Once all post-it notes or index cards have stopped moving, create a title for each of the affinity groups. This title should be a brief 3 to 4 word statement that captures the central theme that ties all the ideas together. Step 6. Draw or create the resulting affinity diagram and provide a working copy to all participants. Affinity diagrams are also used as an interim step prior to creating a fishbone diagram, which we will discuss on the next slide. A fishbone diagram, also referred to as a cause and effect diagram, is a visual representation of the cause and effect relationships between multiple workplace elements. It is called a fishbone diagram because of its layout. The head of the fish is the problem being investigated, and the bones are the possible factors. There are 6 categories of elements typically used in fishbone diagrams: equipment, machine, process, people, human, materials, environment, and management. However, these categories may differ from problem to problem. Each one of these categories is investigated to determine if or how they contribute to the problem. Fishbone diagrams are particularly helpful in determining the cause of quality failures, especially for projects where it is not possible to collect a large amount of data on the problem. To construct a fishbone diagram, first, the quality problem needs to be identified. Then the categories of possible causes of the problem are identified and investigated. Next, the bare bones of the fine bone diagram is constructed using the quality problem as the head of the fish and the categories as the bones. Lastly, the possible causes of the defect under each category is filled in. This step is best conducted as a brainstorming activity involving a group of 3 or 4 experts from the process that you are trying to improve. The primary disadvantage of fishbone diagrams is that they cannot show the level of contribution of each factor to the problem. They can only show connections. Since they cannot determine which cause plays the biggest role in creating the problem, they are helpful in determining the potential causes, but not in determining the most problematic one. In summary, brainstorming tools are great ways to involve employees at all levels to develop ideas to solve a quality problem. Brainstorming sessions help a company come up with creative and innovative ways to solve specific quality problems. Fishbone diagrams and affinity diagrams are some of the tools that can be used to display, classify, and sort the various ideas developed during brainstorming sessions. Thank you.